This is going to go one of two ways. Either I'm going to get through this or the battery is going to die. I don't know which. Let's just find out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Will, and I'm here to do my spoiler review for the final 3 episodes of Season 1 of The Legend of Vox Machina. This is episodes 10 through 12, and I will be giving my spoilery thoughts on what happened in the episode, my overall feelings of the season, and as well as what we can expect from Season 2, especially after that ending. So this is a spoiler review, just like all of these spoiler reviews have been. Come on. So if you have not watched the episodes yet, do pause this video or just, like it, maybe give it a quick share. Go watch it and come back and actually watch the whole review. But if you don't care about hearing my thoughts or a couple spoilery tidbits, then, by all means, please stick around. And before I jump into the review, just as a quick note, if this is your first time checking me out, hi, my name is Will, and I do this sort of geeky thing on the internet on a regular basis at this point. Yeah, pretty much a regular basis. So I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, I do some gaming, I do some drinking, I do some ranking, I do a bunch of stuff, but it's usually all wrapped around some form of geekiness. So if that is your bag and that is something that you're interested in, subscribe to the channel. It would be awesome. It would really help me out. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers this year, so hopefully I can hit that. And it would be awesome if you help me out with it. And hopefully you like this video and like some other videos that I have on the channel as well. But let's talk about these latest and last 3 episodes of Season 1 of The Legend of Vox Machina. These 3 episodes, I kind of feel like episode 10 definitely was our penultimate episode. It really set up what we were expecting with the finale, which really felt like it was a 2-part. Like episodes 11 and 12 really felt like a 2-part finale. The twists and the turns and the reveals and the setup for season 2, I felt like were all really well done over the course of these 3 episodes. We really got an understanding of what was going on with Percy, what was going on with his revenge, and what was going on with the smoke. And I'll kind of break that down in a little bit. But with episode 7, but with episode 10, it picks up right where we left off with episode 9, where they encounter Anna Ripley, who is locked in a cage, and Percy's ready to take her out, but of course the team stops her. And this is also, I think, the first time the entire team really got to see this smoke, this darker side of Percy, No Mercy Percy, in full force. And there's definite concerns about what it's doing to him. It's much more than just your typical revenge. There is a dark force at play, and that's really confirmed by Pike in the episode. And this whole episode is really about exploring that sort of side of Percy, because so far what we've seen when he goes into that hard mode, it's uncontrollable, or it seems like it's controllable to a certain point. No one really lives once he gets going at that point. But in this case, they need Anna Ripley to help them locate the ziggurat where Delilah and Silas are and setting up their ritual. And we also get some really unfortunate reveals in the episode as well, because of the effects of the charm person that Silas did on Vax back all the way back in episode 3 finally kicked in, where he was unwittingly taken custody by Delilah and Silas, as well as Cassandra, who was also under a charm person who led them into an acid trap, which even Pike shouts out, real original at that point.
An acid trap? Whoa, real f***ing original.
I was iffy about Cassandra. I wasn't sure where her loyalties lied, and being that this betrayal definitely knocked Percy down a lot. It took some gentle coddling from Vex to snap him back out of it, to help them escape the acid trap. And I really like how they worked as a team in order to break free and to come up with a solution to their very dire predicament at this point. But yeah, I was iffy about Cassandra's loyalty, and it makes sense that being that she was under the Briarwood's care for so long, that it would be something rather she was legitimately caring about them. And the more logical choice, what I'm glad the episode went with, was that she was under a charm by Silas, and that makes total sense. And I was very curious about, would that affect Vax as well from his encounter with him back in episode 3, and of course we got that answer as well. So it really kind of set up this whole two-parter finale where we wrap up the Briarwood story arc, and as well as we wrap up this presence, this force that is poisoning Percy and poisoning himself, and has been poisoning him for a long time. The way they kind of cleverly found a way to get out of the situation really showed a lot of the strengths of all the team members, with Scanlan using his hand in order to support them, and having to switch up his mode from his normal song to go to heavy metal, and it was really cool to see. Grog being completely reckless and jumping into the acid trying to get to the lever, and the combination of Pike constantly healing him while he's in the acid was a really clever way of how they navigated the situation, which I really liked. And another thing with these last 3 episodes, it really continued the focus that I felt like has been the entire season, with Percy and Keyleth being the 2 prominent figures, really getting the main driving arc of the story going. Of course, with Percy with his quest for vengeance against the Briarwoods, and with Keyleth slowly coming into her own, still not necessarily 100% confident, but has proven herself much more to the rest of the team, and especially to Vex'ahlia, who at first I was I like Vex'ahlia's character. She's confident, she's strong, but she can kind of seem a little bit standoffish and a little bit like uncaring until you earn her respect, until you earn her trust. And a lot of that was directed at Keyleth for most of the season because of her potential relationship with Vax, which they kind of put the kibosh to that, at least for now, due to the fact that when when he professed his love, it was kind of at the wrong time, and it really kind of caught Keyleth off guard. So by the end of episode 12, they've obviously decided to kind of put that on hold because they have other responsibilities, and that makes total sense. As someone, again, who this is my first real experience of the campaign 1 setting with the characters of Vox Machina, I really felt like this show had great pacing throughout all of the episodes. And even with episode 10 kind of feeling like a quicker type wrap up to get to our big finale, to wrap up the rest of the major story beats of season 1. I feel like episode 7, why do I keep saying it's episode 7? I feel like episode 10 really does a good job setting up those things, getting our big reveals with Cassandra, and with them trying to have to rescue Vax from the Briarwoods because he's going to be used as a sacrifice. Understanding what they're actually trying to do, which is to bring about the Whisper One, who is Delilah's patron, and the one who assisted in turning Silas into a vampire. And basically bringing about death and destruction, yada, yada, yada. I just want to mention with episode 11, the choreography of the fight between Vox Machina and Delilah and Silas and Cassandra and Vax, I thought that was so well done. I thought it was paced perfectly. Everyone, I mean, literally everyone got their moment to shine. We got to see Vex and Vax go at it because with Vax being under control, Vex is trying to hold him off but get through to her brother. Freaking Pike going one-on-one with Silas was like Yoda fighting Count Dooku. It was so many flips and jumps, and it was awesome. And you know, the only reason she broke away was because Scanlan was in trouble and he was hit with like, I want to say it was like silence is the name of the spell, so he couldn't do anything against Delilah, so she had to step in to help Scanlan. And it got to the point where everybody's basically down, and it was up to Keyleth to pretty much bond with the Sun Tree to go like Super Saiyan up in this bitch and take out Silas, which was dope as hell. Even with this episode too, we see much more of the entity that is possessing Percy. the smoke, it's apparently it's a demon named Orthax, because that's what the closed captioning said. And this demon, the reveal of the demon that's possessing him was so cool. Between episodes 11 and 12, because we get our main focus in episode 12 of them trying to save Percy's soul from this demon who has latched on to Percy since the day he created the pepper box, which was due to the demon's influence, because it fed off of his fear and his quest for vengeance. That's why the names kept popping up on the gun. And even when Cassandra was revealed to be a double agent, it's kind of... I love how the reveal was through the gun, where her name popped up on the gun, and it was such a cool moment. These episodes had such great reveals and moments that were like beautifully animated. And I've said this about this entire series: the animation is top notch, really stellar work, and I can't say how awesome the animation looks enough. Because even, like I said, with episode 11, with the fight choreography and how they took down Silas was awesome to see, and it left Delilah in a very damaged state, to the point where she initiates the ritual to bring about the Whisper One. And they can't stop her, unfortunately, but it kind of seems like it was a letdown, because the only thing that came through was like a black spinning orb. So unfortunately, was the moment when Delilah attacked Vex, but Keyless jumps in the way and takes the hit, basically almost dying. And it was such I loved how they set it up to where she goes down and Pike is about to heal her, but then Pike loses her connection, her astral form, and is blown back to the temple. So their healer's gone, Keyless dying, and that's how they end the episode. And it's such a great hook how they ended that episode 11. It was only knocked down a bit for me because I kind of know all the characters survived, because I know where a lot of the characters end up. I just don't know a lot of before the characters ended up getting to the end game. But so it took a little bit of the piss out for me, because I'm like, this is being set up so well, but damn, it's like I kind of know she's gonna be okay. But the moment how it played out it's beautifully done. It's beautifully done. You know, they were able to kill Silas and take down Delilah. You would think that would be it, but no. The real threat, basically, and the overarching evil for me, based off of how the show presented it, the overarching evil wasn't necessarily the Briarwoods. It was. But it really felt like Percy's vengeance was the overarching threat. And the fact that he's slowly was losing control, and then we get the reveal of Orthax. I think I'm saying his name right, or its name right. But in the silhouette of the demon around him, and how it started pulling like a venom, where it was like we wanted this and stuff like that. It was really well done, and I love the design of him as well. I think the design was really imposing, and obviously gave Percy this superhuman ability to move around super quickly. You can see the struggle, you can see the pain on his face, which really drove home when I in a previous review, I was like, I know Percy doesn't really want to be doing this, but he feels like he has to. And yeah, he really didn't want, because he felt, you could see the pain on his face when Vex took the mask off his face, and like this, the tears, it was painful. It was so heartbreaking and painful to watch, but then it just basically boiled down to is like he had to be the one to find a way to break himself out of it. Because as much as they're trying to get through to him and trying to keep him from hurting anybody, it's like, because it was attached to his soul and was pretty much bonded with them for years, that the only way to expel it would have been through his own actions, which he was able to expel it by shooting his own hand and basically blowing a hole in his hand to expel the demon. And I love how they resolved that too, with Scanlan picking up the gun, and Percy's like, I'm good, the curse is lifted, let me get the gun back. He's like, nah, and they just throw it in the acid. And then he's like, do you know how expensive that was? And you see the demon pop up. He's like, oh, well shit, okay, appreciate it, thanks. But I really loved episode 12 a lot, especially with their battle with Orthax, and how they visually jump back and forth between the struggle inside of Percy's mind and the struggle outside of with the team trying to stop Percy from hurting themselves or trying to kill Delilah, because the demon was feeding off of souls. That's the whole reason why it was so pressed for him to kill all of these people. And that's where we really start to see more of the demon with episode 10 coming through, because with the team convincing him to hold off on killing Anna Ripley, it forced the demon's hand in order to push harder, especially once it got around to Delilah and Silas, and even Cassandra, because Cassandra was on that chopping block until they killed Silas and were able to release the charm off of Cassandra and Vax. You know, I don't think he forgave them. I think he was able to let go of his vengeance, but not forgive them. Cassandra even said, like, I'm happy that you were able to forgive him, but I cannot. And she says this after killing Delilah, because Delilah is already wounded at this point and about to attack him, but then, you know, Cassandra stabs her in the throat, slices her throat off, and that was it. And I thought that was a great way to end it with the whole death of the Briarwoods. And so I think that was really awesome. If there was one thing you could maybe argue with the season of any character not necessarily getting a lot of time to shine, you can maybe make an argument for Grog, but I think Grog, even with the moments that he stole within every episode, he just stole that moment and it was awesome. I love how the entire season was paced. It was paced very well, even for something that was probably hundreds of hours, you know, of just one particular arc. Maybe not 100, maybe like 40 hours or something like that. It was a week's worth maybe of time that they had streamed, condensed down into a 12 episode season. I thought they did a really great job. It's something that easily got me hooked on it. And I know with a lot of people who might not have seen Campaign 1, they also got hooked on it super easy. And I think that's just a testament to the writing, to the creative, to the characters themselves. The whole theme of this first season for me was about family and love, and especially with family and like friends, because of course Vox Machina is more than just friends. They're obviously a family. The family between Vex and Vax and Cassandra and Percy, and dealing with those sibling dynamics, with love, dealing with the beginnings of love between, like, you know, Keyleth and Vax and Percy and Vex, and even Scanlan and Pike with their moments that began to shine through. I mean, obviously in future seasons we're going to see those moments grow, but I love how they were just sprinkled through in these first few episodes, but not necessarily overtly made official. Even though with Vax professing his love to Keyleth, it obviously wasn't the right time, and I'm sure they both feel that way about each other, but they also both feel like they have a lot of other responsibilities that can get in the way. You know, love, how people always find excuses not to just take the plunge. But it's good to see that the team is much more solidified, and their place and standings are definitely in a better place than they were at the beginning. So it's like the team are heroes. They've earned that title more than once this season, which is awesome. And it just sets up for a very, very intense season 2. Again, never watched the streams, so that stinger at the end of episode 12, when they're there to hear the proclamation of King Uriel, or what's his name? It's Uriel, but I don't know if it's King or something. Anyway, but he's basically stepping down and leaving rule of Iman to the Council of Tal'Dorei, which I think is a smart play, because he sees what Vox Machina was able to do with a band of individual people working together for the greater good, and feels like that the city and the entire continent can benefit from that. So he decides to step down, and in mid-speech he catches something coming in from the direction of the sun, and it's 4 really big dragons. And oh boy, it does not look good for Amon. It doesn't look good for the team. And again, I don't know anything beyond this point. I have no idea. So you see 4 really big dragons coming in. Holy shit, that's gonna be rough. From my very limited knowledge, I'm assuming these dragons are similar to Brimscythe, who they killed in episode 2. So it's possibly another revenge journey coming in from the dragon side. I've heard something. Was it Corvus Conclave? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if I said the name right of that. But it seems like season 2, which hopefully we won't have to wait super duper long for, maybe like a year. I hope it's not a year, but hopefully we won't have to wait super long for season 2. But it looks like it's going to be more dragons, a lot more death, and it's going to be interesting to see where the story goes from here with a much more confident team too. I mean, Keyleth has very much come into her own. Percy is no longer bound by his vengeance or a demon, and definitely seems more like himself. He's much more happy in these last moments of episode 12. Even, Vex and Vax were surprised to see him smiling genuinely. He was happy to hear Scanlan's new epic tale of their adventure. I mean, and he even has a piece of residuum in the palm of his hand now to kind of fill the hole that he blew a hole in his hand. So it's going to be interesting to see that, how his character is going to continue to evolve. And even with Pike being back to her full cleric self, is she going to still be the light of the team, or has that role been taken up by Keyleth now? And is Pike mainly going to be the healer? I'm just excited. I'm excited for season 2. Season 1 has been such a joy to watch. This show has been such a joy to just experience in this sort of format. I'm super excited for what the future holds. I'm hoping we get much more past season 2. I have no fears of like pacing or anything like that because they've done such a wonderful job with season 1. The wealth of characters, the brilliant voice actors, even for characters we only saw in an episode or two. Like, I never felt like a character got any sort of like disservice or anything like that. I never felt like a character got like brushed off too easily. Even somebody like Stonefeld, who was only in for like one episode, the impact that character had on the story was so huge, even for such a limited time. Even somebody like Archie, who Archie was in a few episodes and eventually died. His role was so important for pushing Percy forward. It didn't feel like it was like a waste of a character. No character has felt like it was a waste to me. And I think that's a testament to how well these characters were developed before being presented on screen, and how well the story kind of utilized them in impactful ways without necessarily making them have to have like a full episode or something like that. So I'm super excited for season 2. I know I didn't like talk about too many spoilery things in it, but it's a dope 3 episodes. That fight alone in episode 11 is so good, and the struggle with Orthax in episode 12, the visuals of the demon and how he explained how he latched on to Percy, and like Percy's internal struggle with it were great. And that stinger in episode 12, I mean, come on, if that doesn't get you hyped for a season 2, I don't know what would. But overall, those are my thoughts of the last 3 episodes of season 1 of Legend of Vox Machina. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know some things I might have missed. Let me know what I should be excited for with season 2. Specifically with what road that they're going down. Try not to spoil too much about the next arc of that they did in the campaign, but definitely let me know at least what we can expect, or without being too spoilery. Like, don't give major beats, but come on, you're talking about 4 huge dragons heading towards the city, and we saw the damage that Brimscythe did. I am super pumped. So but I want to hear your thoughts about the episodes, the season as a whole. Did you like it? Did you not like it? So let me know your thoughts. Let's start a conversation in the comments. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed The Legend of Vox Machina. I surely did. But that is my spoiler review of episodes 10 through 12 of The Legend of Vox Machina. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for watching this and all of my videos. I really do appreciate it. I know I got some new subscribers from these videos, so I'm really thankful that you subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you've enjoyed this and some of my other videos as well. And you know, hopefully you'll share this around, and I will definitely be doing reviews for season 2 whenever season 2 drops. But you can follow me on a lot of different social media platforms that are listed at the end of this video. I've got a ton of videos on the channel now that you're more than welcome to check out. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And as always, until next time, I will catch you later. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did like this video, why not give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends? You can subscribe to the channel by clicking on my gorgeous little face right over there. You can follow me on all the various social media platforms right below. And last but certainly not least, if you've got a few extra minutes, why not check out one of the lovely videos floating right over here. Later.